has recently been some controversial remarks by the President of Botswana, Duma Boko, and the former President, Mokgweetsi Masisi, as well as the former founding, shall I say, President of BOMAU, an association of media workers and indeed journalists. The three of them have expressed some discomfort or are certainly showing disapproval of what the media is doing. Basically, they're challenging the credibility of the news media work. And in the studio today, I have someone who's going to help me just go through this and dissect the credibility of what these three leaders say. I say leader, including the Philemon Meso, who is the former president of Botswana Media and Allied Workers Union, BOMAU. President Boko has said that 90% of what comes in out of the media or the media work is untruth. And the former president, Mokgweetsi Masisi, held that the media at the moment has become so timid to question the current leadership. He was saying this in comparison to what he says his government went through in the past 5 years. And as I said, in the studio I have Dr. Keneilwe Matara, who is a research fellow at Botswana Institute for Development and Policy Analysis. She's here to help us discuss these remarks of these three individuals. These are very prominent individuals indeed, and they're challenging the credibility of media work. Basically, they're saying journalists and journalism has gone down in as far as standards is concerned. I want us to just help us here as a researcher on what these three individuals are saying, because they're basically making it difficult for news consumers to continue trusting what they are fed by journalists in this country. First, let's just establish this. Is media work your area?
Listen, thank you so much for your welcome, warm welcome to your studio. I'm a public policy analyst. I'm a research fellow at the Botswana Institute for Development Policy Analysis, as you've already said. So I think in terms of the question that you just asked, whether as a researcher what my views are on these statements that have been uttered.
But before we get into your views, I just want to establish whether researching on media is something that BIDPA is interested in or would be interested in.
I would say this is not something that at this point in time we are doing. It's not a type of research that we are engaged in right now, but it is something that as BIDPA, because we research on various issues, especially from the governance unit, this is part of the issues of governance that we can and are able to conduct research on. Yeah.
Now, is there something that surprised you what these three leaders have said?
No, it's
questioning the credibility of media work.
It's not something that surprises me. It's something that is expected in a democracy. Yeah, you expect people to express their views. You expect people to say what it is that makes them uncomfortable. Be it the leaders, be it the people. You know, people should be free to express their views. Yeah.
And would you say that what they said makes sense?
That
what the President Duma Boko and the former President Masisi are saying. President Masisi is saying that the media at the moment is not as hard as it was on his government. He holds that the current government is having it ease with the media compared to what he went through during his time as the president. Is that what you observed?
No, that's his own opinion, right? That is what he thinks of the media currently. But when he was president, is this the same thing, that stance that he was holding at the time? You see, probably what you view the media as depends on the lens that you are using to look at the media at that point in time. Yeah.
So are you saying that it's probably that during his time, the media was also lenient?
Probably, and maybe at the time it worked for him. Who knows?
And what about what the President Boko says, that, 90% is not credible? Basically, he's saying it's untruth.
Listen, I wouldn't want to sit here and say it is truthful what he said, or it is rightful what he said, or it is credible what he said. But he is talking from the point of view of what he consumes from the media. Does it reflect the truth that he knows about the issues that they're reporting on? So probably before we can really talk about whether it's credible or not, it's, do we understand the role that the media has to play? And I think he's somebody that really, really is well versed with the role that the media must play in society. Because if you look at, the first few months, the first month when he came into office, the assurance that he gave to the media, the call that he gave to the media to say, listen, you need to be really thorough in your work, you need to probe issues, you need to go out there, write, call people, bring people together, discuss issues. And then at the time, I think because the media was seeing this opening being given to them, this platform that was given to them by the leader of the country, they were happy. They didn't come out to say, why is the president calling us to get to work? We've been working, it was something that was appreciated, right? And now he's saying, you've been given this platform to do the work that you do. Are you being thorough in doing it? Are you going out there? Are you probing issues? Are you giving us reports that are thoroughly researched, that have got evidence supporting them?
Let me put it this way. Generally, when leaders begin to express disapproval of media work or challenge media work, some people would argue that this is just a signs of what's coming, which is not going to be a good thing. Do you think it is possible that going forward, President Boko might do something, or his government might do something beyond his words? That affect media negatively?
No, I don't think so. Because like I said, he's somebody who understands, who I believe understands what the role of the media should be in society. And as much as he called the media at the beginning to say, listen, do your work thoroughly, he at this point in time is saying, can you take stock of what you are feeding people? Is this something that is really credible? Is this something that is that has been researched on, that you can really say you stand on it? And so I don't think that this is a cause for concern, really. There should be room for criticism, right? As long as it's constructive criticism. Whoever is receiving that constructive criticism should be able to take it, whether it's the media, whether it's the leadership themselves that these issues are being written on. As long as if something is making you if something is making you uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that that thing has no place to be said. Or
let's just cut the net wide and say that what they are saying is basically reflecting what perhaps they and the circle, people within their circles are saying about the media. What about the organization like BIDPA? Do you, with your professionals and people you interact with, does it ever come to become part of what you discuss and express concerns about what the media is doing, or jubilation about what the media work is?
Listen, as a researcher, I'm from a research institute, right? As a researcher, I believe in evidence. In whatever that you put out there must be evidence. You should have been able to go out there, interact with the people, conduct research, gain evidence before you can then come and say whatever that it is that you are saying to the people. So if the media is what the media is giving to us has been thoroughly researched on, regardless of whether it makes the leadership uncomfortable, if it has got the evidence, then it is okay for them to put it out there. But if they put in reports out there that don't have the evidence, then it should be questioned.
So it could also be said that as long as the former president Mokgweetsi Masisi and the current president Duma Boko and himself Remeso, as long as they are making statements and not providing any evidence to back up what they are saying, we should also just take it like these three gentlemen are just enjoying their freedom of expression?
Definitely. I mean, yeah.
Let's just move forward and consider that perhaps there is something questionable about the media work. What do you think, or would you say can be attributed to that?
I think the one thing that for me I really find to be, something that affects the quality of our media work would be the issue of capacity. Okay, the fact that issues around financial capacity, human capacity, that our media personnel or our journalists who go out to write on issues, are they well versed on those issues that they're reporting on? Are they, there's several issues: poverty, we've got issues on education, we've got issues on health, but are these personnel trained, or at least do they have the background of the issues that they are writing on? Do they have the capacity even to conduct investigative journalism, to be able to go out there, research on issues? Do they have the skills to do that? Yeah.
So basically, we'll go back on that answer. You can go back to what you said earlier, that whatever you can say about the media work, whatever position you hold, you must be able to back that up with something that you can say, this is credible, this substantiates my questioning of the media work. Let's move on and talk about the possibility that government is now on going through the process of transforming the current government media or state media into a public broadcaster. What changes do you think this will make?
Listen,
for the benefit of the public and for the benefit of the media itself?
Yeah, I think it will be a good thing. It will be a good thing, to be a good reform, because when you change into a public entity, you are moving away from having the state media be a department under, a particular ministry or a particular office in the government, right? So you are establishing that level of independence, and when you do that, public entities have got boards that govern them, that oversee their work, that ensure that their mandate is upheld, is delivered to the best of their ability. So I think that will bring in about positive developments in the media.
Let me ask a question. What will it take going forward to have your organization do some research work on what the media is doing, the input it is making in the development of this country? What will it take? And what has delayed, basically, or stopped the organization from having some research work on the media work?
Listen, I think because we work on, we do consultancies, the government, private institutions, international organizations, approach us to do certain projects for them. If we have not been approached to do that, probably maybe that is why we haven't done it before. But there's also an element of, supply-driven, what we call supply-driven research, something that is initiated by ourselves as researchers to say, I think this is an interesting area that I can actually research on. So I think it will take that, sparking that interest from the researcher's point of view to say, is this something that I should engage on? And so I think there's really room for that, and also for the media houses. I think there's this problem where there's lack of collaboration between various institutions or organizations in the country. I think if we see that there's room to collaborate, to partner in terms of, I mentioned earlier on that the skills could be a problem in terms of going out there to get or to probe for information. As a researcher, you are trained in terms of going out there to find information. I think we could maybe find a common ground with the media to say, okay, you do the research for me, then I, go publish it or something like that.
All right, I wanted to say something, but it will appear like I'll be defending the media.
Okay.
So we'll go forward and say that maybe just the last point. Can we expect maybe in a year, in 6 months, for you to, just in 30 seconds, for you to initiate research work on media?
Definitely. I think this is something that this is topical. There's room to educate people on the role of the media. There's need to educate the leaders on what they should do to ensure that the media, they provide a conducive environment for the media, and also for the media as well, to say to them, listen, you need to take this your profession seriously.
All
so
right.
there's a lot of work that can be done around that.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keneilwe Matara, who is a research fellow at Botswana Institute for Policy Analysis. Once again, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.